I want to welcome up Yejin Ang to give a testimony about the Chunchimon Rebirth Workshop.
Hello. Okay. I think that song was a part of my testimony a bit, maybe, what I felt. Except actually, my experience was I felt a lot of hope from the Rebirth Workshop. And I don't have much time, and I have so much I want to say. But I have experienced I had many precious moments at this workshop. But I want to share one main thing. And I also want to share my thought process while I was receiving the content and digesting things that Reverend Dunkley was sharing. But I would say, like, the overall feeling that I got from this Rebirth Workshop was a lot of hope and, like, unconditional love from True Mother and the trust that she has in us. So, yeah, there was a moment, and there were actually many moments when I did feel like I was reborn, but it felt really uncomfortable. Like, anyway, yeah. I came to IPEC on the second day of the workshop, so I was arriving basically in like the meat of the message, but basically when it was a very intense day. And if you've been to the Rebirth Workshop, you know what I'm talking about. But so I actually had Shogo Oppa, who's not here right now, but I came late, so he kind of caught me up on what Reverend Dunkley was sharing. And yeah, when he was explaining that, my jaw literally dropped. I was like, what? Anyway, I was really surprised. If you want to know what I heard, you could just go to the workshop and experience it. But, and pray, of course. But yeah, anyway, I had this moment where I was digesting everything, and I just felt confused. I was like, I felt disoriented, and I had so many questions. So when we went to the prayer room to pray, we pray every night in this workshop at the Chunchimon in Vegas. While we're praying, usually when people pray unison prayer, it's very intense. People are shouting and crying and screaming "Awaji Omani," and like it's very intense. But I didn't feel pressure to pray like that because I felt really serious about being there, and so I really wanted to talk to God seriously. And I not that, praying that way is not serious, but for me, I want to communicate with God very, like, really intentionally. I was really serious. And like, I wanted God to take my words seriously, and I wanted to be intentional with what I was saying. The first thing I told God was, I'm confused, I don't get it. And I'm being very explicit and transparent with what I experienced in this workshop. And I was telling him, I'm confused. And I said that over and over again. I was so sincere. I was like, God, I don't, please, I don't understand. But I wanted to understand. And I wanted to get it in my heart. I really wanted to get it. So I was just crying and crying, like because I felt in my heart, like I really wanted to know what was on Mother's heart. And there are moments when I was just like, I don't understand, and it's difficult for me to digest this, but I kept saying, like, please show me God, just please show me God, like really asking to, like, show me. And yeah, I feel like one thing that Reverend Dunkley said that really hit me was that he was like, when he was explaining everything, he said, like, he's like, come on, guys, like, Mama and Papa need our help. So for me, when I digested that, I was like, what do they need help with? Like, what is it that I need to know? And to me, understanding what was on mother's heart and understanding what was on father's heart was more important than I basically, my attitude was, I really want to throw everything away and just what is on mother's heart. Because that's, for me, that's the foundation of my faith. Like, my personal relationship with true parents and God was more important than, like, I really do love our church traditions, and it's not to put that aside, but to me, in that moment, I was like, I may have these conceptions, but more important than what I understand is, than what I would say believe in right now is what is on mother's heart. And that was a priority for me. So I was like, anyway, I kept praying with that attitude, like, I really want to know, God, like, what is on your heart? What's bothering you? And this information, it started to, I was digesting it little by little, and I was able to understand kind of what Reverend Dunkley was saying. And my thought process was, I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth about what mother is going through, what father is going through, and what God is going through. And so if I really want to know the truth, mother says and people say that anything is possible when you pray the Chuncheon one. And yeah, so for me, like, if anything's possible, then it will be revealed to me, right? What's on mother and father's heart. And I feel like it really was. Anyway, okay, so I think to wrap things up, like, the biggest thing that I gained from this workshop is just feeling like not judged by principle, not like I have to judge others by the standard, but just loving them and feeling loved by mother. That completely changed my life of faith and how I view people, how I view God. It's like who we already are is what mother wants to embrace. And so when we receive that love, then we can also offer that same embrace to other people. And that feeling of like everything you are is enough, that feeling of just being embraced and like everything that I'm doing is okay. Obviously, you cannot do whatever you want, but I feel that feeling of just, I felt like mother was just giving me a really big hug, like who I am is precious already. I just need to share that with the world rather than I need to teach people about the standard. I think like the standard of our faith should be shown through our love, not through like teaching or talking people about how it should be, talking to people about how we should be. Anyway, but those are my realizations, and I would love to share more, but because we have a sermon coming up, so I don't want to give a sermon, but basically the main point is really mother's embrace is really powerful, and then once we can understand her heart, then it basically feels like you're reborn. I don't know, that's my experience. Thank you.